Good evening. There are 26 days now until the election, and you might say Barack Obama and Mitt Romney are coming down the stretch. But in the last 2 months, the race has swung considerably back and forth, so we thought we'd start tonight by seeing just how we got to this point in the race, underlined race, for the White House.
Governor Romney, and thank you.
It's August 11th, and Mitt Romney comes out of the first turn with Paul Ryan as his running mate, looking to make up ground on the leader.
And delegates, I accept your nomination for President of the United States.
And here comes the Republican National Convention. Romney going to the whip, but unable to get traction. We're still neck and neck.
I accept your nomination for President of the United States.
Now it's Obama's turn to make a move at the DNC. And he does, surging ahead more than 3.5 percentage points. And Romney's headed for a hurdle.
There are 47% who are with him, who are dependent upon government, who believe that they're...
Oh no! Governor Romney falling even farther back now. What can he do to make up so much ground?
We're running out of time, gentlemen. So I think you have a chance. Yes, respond to that. Yes, sir.
Mr. President, you're entitled as a president to your own airplane and to your own house, but not to your own facts.
Incredible! Here comes Romney surging to the front and closing the gap as the VPs prepare for their own debate derby tonight in Kentucky.
Well, Governor Romney had a good night. I had a bad night. But I think what's important is that the fundamentals of what this race is about haven't changed.
Okay, enough with the elephants and donkeys. It's the stallion known as Chris Cillizza.
Thank you. Wow. I'll come back anytime.
Okay, now that I've buttered you up, a hard-hitting question. Last week you came on here and insisted these debates are not difference makers. Do you stick to that?
I do, and here's why. I would say they are not difference makers in the kind of bones of an election, which are kind of the broad issues, which is the economy and President Obama's handling of it, and the electoral college battle in the swing states. I would say at a little bit kind of higher level, they do impact kind of the conversations that go on in Washington, the conversations that go on cable television, the conversations that go on blogs and in newspapers. So it is not that they have no impact. It is that they very, very rarely alter the kind of underlying dynamic of the race. But of course, you know, momentum matters in these things too. And they clearly, as Romney's performance last week showed, or Barack Obama's lack of a performance showed, they do help create or stymie momentum.
And with that, or whatever the cause may be, where do we stand now? Are we back to basically a tie?
Yeah, I think, you know, Brooke, I think we're kind of back to, it's like back to where we all started. I think we're back to kind of where we were in the race before the two-party conventions. Mid to late August, you had Barack Obama with a very narrow lead nationally, 1 or 2 points, basically a tie over with Mitt Romney. And then in swing states, if you looked at them as a whole, Barack Obama with some structural advantages and polling suggesting he was ahead by 2, 3, 4 points. And I think that's kind of where we are today, which is at the national level, the race seems basically tied. At the swing state level, and by swing states I mean Ohio, Virginia, Florida, those types of places, Obama is still ahead, though Romney clearly is the momentum candidate of the moment, but that momentum has not pushed him ahead of Obama.
We've got the VP debate tonight. What are you looking for?
Well, I mean, we've already proven my prediction ability is
I don't even, why am I even bother asking?
I would say take whatever I say and bet the opposite. So I think, and we did talk about this last week when we talked about the presidential debate, which we said there's probably not going to be all that many fireworks. And there really wasn't. Barack Obama's performance notwithstanding, they didn't engage one another all that much. My guess is this debate will be very different in that regard. I think both candidates have an incentive to kind of go at the other. Joe Biden has shown in past debates, whether he was running for president or in the VP debate against Sarah Palin, a willingness to kind of litigate out the differences between the two candidates. You know, and they have less to lose about appearing presidential. They can kind of mix it up a little more because it's more expected of them. When you're running for president, there's kind of this, well, you have to be presidential and you have to be kind of, you know, serious and sober. A little less of that as it relates to the VP. So my guess is it will be a more exciting, if you kind of like political clashes, it will be a more exciting debate.